Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
This is So I'm Watching the Show, your new favorite pop culture YouTube channel where we talk about movies, TV, music, and more. I wanted to record an intro because we're going to release some very old test footage of ours that was Riverdale. We covered season 1 and 2 of Riverdale, and because we have had so much fun with that show, for better and worse, and because it's been one of some of our most popular content, I was like, we've got this footage. It's not great. Like, our audio's bad. Yeah. We look different. There is no set. Yeah. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, I think the conversation is good. Mm-hmm. And I think it's worth releasing.
It's in my old dining room.
So yeah, we're definitely going to release season 2. And that's what this is. This is just a little intro for our Riverdale season 2 content. So you got to have options.
I see.
So please do enjoy.
This show.
It's 14, right? No, 14's about to.
13, yeah. The Telltale Heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, no, and I was like, actually, yes.
It definitely works out after a minute, because I was thinking the same thing, where I was like, why is it called this? And then I was like, no, I get it.
Not a ton happens in this. It's more like moving pawns around than it is actually like flipping the board. And,
right. So we mentioned at the end of last week that Alice had killed a man in the Cooper house.
That, like, extended and poorly monitored psychotic break that Cheryl was having seems to have jumped hosts to Alice. Because she's not okay.
No. Like, definitely not okay. She the thing is that she feels like she's okay. Like, she feels like she's not aware she's not okay yet.
Well, it's like this strange balance.
Like, she feels in control.
It's like a strange balance of, like, denial and white knuckling.
Yeah. She's like, I'm fine. There's nothing going on.
They're playing Clue.
She's like, I'm hanging from this cliff by my own choice, Betty.
Yes, she is very...
I'm fine here. I don't know what your problem is.
She's making so much food. Yeah. She's, like, consistently shoving food in their faces.
Pancakes. It's almost time for dinner. Don't you want to eat lunch? It's like, no, Alice.
Alice, it is 6 in the morning.
Yeah, what is going on? I made a pot roast.
Yeah.
For breakfast?
Well, and Betty is overcompensating.
Yeah.
Because Betty is, like, a squirrely mess.
Well, okay, so what I do love about Betty in this episode is that she is, like, still in the afterglow from having sex with Jughead.
Which apparently you said was her first.
I think so.
Okay.
We discussed it earlier.
We did?
Because we thought they had done it before. And you were like, oh no, they got interrupted by the serpents.
Oh, okay. Well, the show doesn't make a big to-do about
it,
which is your preferred.
I love it. So she's like, she walks home in the afterglow and walks into her house to find it covered in blood. So she immediately, though, was like on her game. And she's like, Mom, let me help. Because Chick is useless. He is like just sitting in a chair staring at the fire. And so she's like,
I love Chick. I forgot
he's hilarious.
What a fucking weirdo he was.
So weird, so funny. But Betty is like, I need to help you. You clearly can't do this alone. And then Hal is coming over, so they only have like 25 minutes.
Hal's coming over to do inventory in the house.
I need my toiletries. That's the first thing you take with you when you get kicked out of the house.
He was like, where's the rug? How about that lamp? He was like, it's just like...
Why does it smell like so much bleach? What flavor tomato soup did you spill on the rug, Alice? It's just like, Jesus, Hal.
No, I just like... I feel like this is a bold angle I'm about to take, but I feel like Betty's too worried. Like, I would have just taken my mom's lead and been like, that's fine. Like, because she goes back
to the body.
But also, I mean, they always return to the scene of the crime. It's like, why would you ever make such a rookie mistake? And then she takes the phone.
That wasn't the scene of the crime, technically.
Okay, they always return back to where they hastily dumped the body.
in and then a culvert?
Yeah, she takes the phone and turns off the GPS, but is still using it all over town. Like,
well, because she's trying to find out about the guy or whatever. But I need to go back to the water runoff like pipe or whatever, because Alice is like, they shut these pipes off years ago. This was my secret place when I was a little girl. And I'm like, Alice, you just go around hanging out in like sewer pipes? Like, what the fuck?
Well, I don't know. And so they bring in like Jughead and FP to like help, and I like all this stuff. I had forgotten how much FP and Alice were an actual thing.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think I thought it was sort of like a fandom thing, and I was like, oh no, it's on the show.
Yeah. There's at least like there's inklings of it the whole time.
We begin a trend. It's really not begun. It's been established before, but it is a unfortunate trend of, in particular for Cheryl Blossom, of no good deed goes unpunished. It's like anytime she actually tries to be helpful or whatever, she's kind of like smacked on the nose with a roll of newspaper.
Yeah, well, because Betty is like having a really hard time with having disposed of this body, and so she's like throwing up in the bathroom, and Cheryl is very sincerely asking if she's all right and she needs help, and Betty is like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
In
she's
a way
like,
that
not
like,
now, Cheryl. Like,
and Cheryl's being like legitimately sincere, and I guess it might be one of those like you cried wolf too many times things where it's like, we've been burned by you before, I don't need to be like putting my mental well-being on you right now. But
well, also there's a chance that like probably the worst place Cheryl's going in her mind is like unwanted pregnancy.
Sure.
But it's like, well, Cheryl's also seems to be having a hard time with her mother, which I can't determine if she's actually like having a hard time with the fact that Penelope is just like a
straight
proper hooker now,
straight up madam,
or if it's like she's losing the
power,
the control of her mom, because she had one up for so long.
Yeah.
And
could be both.
Yeah, it's odd. Hal is full blown. It's like having an affair with Penelope at this point.
It's different with Hal. He's not a client. It's real.
Mother. It is. I didn't remember that they were like in love with each other, which is how
I don't know that we've gotten that far, but it's
feels.
beyond client.
Yeah, because Penelope even is like, I'm not charging him, and I'm just like, it's like the only good thing about what you're doing is the money.
Well, and Penelope Blossom has the audacity to refer to Alice as a Gorgon.
He has a wife.
Alice Cooper? That Gorgon?
I mean...
Mind you, there were 3 Gorgons, and that brings us to Hermione Lodge.
Yep. Yeah.
But, no, I was going to say, we also got Cheryl's archery. I think this is the first time we've seen her with her archery.
Shoot a bow and arrow, yeah.
This plot pays dividends.
It does, for a minute, too.
It pays off.
Into season 3, it's paying dividends.
Cheryl, grab your bow.
Yeah.
Into season, I don't think it makes a scene in...
I
can't remember about season 4.
I don't think so. Definitely season 3.
But no, so this is really where we've been chronicling, if you will, the descent of Hermione Lodge's character arc. And
I would say this is actually the zenith.
yeah, well, that's what. Yeah, I mean how they lose her from the show.
Sure, yes.
But this is where we really start getting stuff, because it's like she's in a position here where it's like they don't explicitly say that she like is more powerful than Hiram, but she appears to be like operating independently of him.
Because Andre comes to pick up Archie at the end of this episode and is like, the boss wants to see you in a different location than normal.
But he also is like the real boss.
Yeah, and so we get to like the cliff sides of Riverdale.
Yeah, with crashing ocean.
Yeah.
Like it's very like
it's very mysterious. Were you gonna say something specific?
Yeah, and it's a terrible reference anyway. Dark Shadows is what I was gonna say.
Oh, that's an okay reference. And Archie gets out of the car and walks towards the cliff sides, and it's not Hiram, it's Hermione, and it's just
and
like,
it's a glamour shot if ever there were one. Like it's a whole big thing.
Like I feel like she's wearing ermine lashes.
I'm really intrigued by it too. Like because it's like, considering the bad taste that is currently in my mouth with the Lodge storyline, it's like at this point I'm like super into Archie being part of this, and like excuse me, I don't know.
It was such an interesting notion that I feel right now is when it has the most potential within the storyline, and it just doesn't last that much longer, which is so sucky.
I also just, like, I kind of wish the show had the ability to just go, like, full-blown fantasy. Because we get there a little bit with the Griffins and Gargoyles, but it's like, this is the way that they're talking about this with, like, turf and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very, I mean, Game of Thrones was the biggest show of
the 2010s.
Yeah, in existence when this is airing. So it's like, they lean into some of those dynamics with, like, the warring tribes.
I like it. The show is at the same time, it's too grounded for how fantastical it is, but it's also too fantastical for how grounded they're trying to keep it. So it's like in this weird nebulous middle
It's just,
ground.
this is sort of what I wanted Once Upon a Time to be, where it's like Once Upon a Time was like turned into this strange family show.
Yeah, I'm not.
And it's like, I wish it had gone more this direction.
We don't
like,
have time for that.
We don't have time for
conversation
that.
right now.
Let's do a episode by episode of Once Upon a Time.
Okay, I'll do it. I swear to God, I'll do it. I will do it.
I can commit to season 1.
Okay.
I don't know if I can revisit every episode beyond that. We should do the thing that we always threaten, where it's like, actually put it in chronological order.
God.
I want to watch it in chronological order. I want to see what that's like.
I don't really want to do that.
So,
there's gonna just be so much Rumpelstiltskin at the beginning. There's just like
well, there's gonna be so much stuff in the beginning that does not pay off till so late.
Yeah.
Like, like the first episode we'd watch is that weird musical number where they get the gift of song, and then they all forget until like.
That's not even an episode I saw. I don't think.
You did. It was the musical number, the musical episode. It was original. Zelina, so this is being, or we'll leave it in. Zelina sang a whole song about being wicked. But regardless, I just wrote all of the Dutch angles.
Yeah, there's a lot in this episode.
Found this phone.
Cut the crap. You're the slut he's been whoring with, aren't you?
The whole episode is just like
shifting back and forth.
And so the whole thing with Hermione is that Andre, the FBI agent, was fake, and it was a test for Archie.
Arthur.
Arthur
Adam. Andre's the driver.
Yeah,
okay.
And that's why the whole thing was so sketchy. Just the most.
He was like, here's some money. Here's a wad of money.
Oh, also, Archie passed the first test in his entire life.
Yeah.
So.
But not for school.
That was the Archie's dumb joke.
Yeah, Archie's super dumb.
End on a high note. I feel like that's good.
Yeah. This is not like a hugely...
Oh, Sierra stepped down. Weirdly, with like Josie just flanking her for no reason.
As mayor, I have seen us through a triumphant jubilee and the terrors of the Black Hood Killer.
I was like, is that mayoral protocol?
It'd be like if Chelsea Clinton had been at the impeachment hearings. Just
well, I was going
sitting back.
I was going Mayor Buddy Dyer's like teenage son is just like
just like
singing in the background.
hello.
So Riverdale.